bet me akobroni kro ni we a ke yenso redwumadi so they can rare creatures ene yen te ya mum yenya ise bibini kra ba wiase be ye den unless yes san yesuban because European countries and as I mean can say abrofo no omo the measure say gu akwan right from onset from infancy the entity omo de ma omo ma no eno na ye ko omkro ma na chese bibia aye ase ya can say bibia koso kama me be say me use word bi system no je adwuma system no je adwuma kama baby ya ne how na no me kan say Ghana nya independence eja China for and say na yen hwe China and na yen hwe China aden ne yen sesan ya adwen aden na yen sesan yesuban na ya de bibia ya amanyosem ya de bibia ya amanyosem ama e say spiritual leaders especially aye Christians asofo nyina do mu hu awura politics asofo do mu hu awura amanyosem mu ama Ghana amanyosem aye tantan obi anya platform bia na oka di ope e kire no yonko penifo na hyase adidi wo mo ho atem ama ene mabunu no so sori a omanya access to aye social media nti ofa phone na no so e true shades insults I dey say politicians no we efe ese o man no ebeye ya ifriye nara o man no ebeye ya ifriye nara say anytime be hye dwumade we ase aye boss anwum no cause enwum no mu aba no say ye fa one stanza bia na one verse bia chire ma na one line bia lyrics no one line bia a chire ma kay gospel. Well, Hana no crefie no. We are live on your multi TV Reggae Box, Hana TV. It says streaming live over your YouTube Original Gossip TV. All the episodes no eguo. Samsung na TikTok, we are live Hana TV. You see how far phone no. Na kwa TikTok, search column ho, bo Hana na fa TV eto aso. Hana Space TV. We are live. You streaming live ewo ho. Oko na the comments no enso efa ho a making kan e de amount. So dem sika episodes na ya nyina eno so ewo Original Gossip TV. Message some subscribe. Said the be ba live munsu mu benya. Ho so pass o comments na fa ho a making kan amount. My personal handles ewo TikTok will say @DizziDavisKAD. I want to mumra me DM mu and let's get interactive. Or my personal YouTube and see Dizzi Live TV. Dizzi Live TV. Also ubura hwa me ye niam kakra edi egu ho. Enso ubura hwa ubenya o man mu nsem enso etie ewo ho. Mesre say ye moye homoden. Na yensesan ye suban. Yensesan ye mentality. Because we have only one Ghana. You need Ghana BI or baby. Na minya sa same way kanta. Because in penifo na akato say you throw a stone to the wall, it bounces back to you. Oto bobo dan ya. Sabe bowa. E ban, sorry, oto bobo ban ya, e sabe bowa. Akonfo bone no. Oye ni nyankoma de, se kuro ne nsai, kuro no mbo. Emu nipa nwu, emu mofra nwu, emu ma enwu, emu mrantie enwu, emu nsuo munam nyina ensai, ensuo nsai, aduane nsai, na ni wura fi se kuro na ebo no nso timu bi. Na saa ne ni nyina asai a okọ hen. Ye leaders no so ye besre mo. Say yan na ye to santene. Ensuo to awie bo. ye dim ni akoto aba e de yejimo na renti na mo ba ye kasa kire ma muntie de ye pɛ mo nyema yen na de mo pɛ no na mo ye ene obi ba aban mu a na se ye appoint obi wa aban mu a one na busua ayeye aban na appoint obi a sa wo ye DC wo ye MC wo ye minister for roads minister for transport minister for finance minister for den oh na busua for AC cross within a year or two no man yeska bocho krono ana sebi imprediasa mano sisimina so ye mpanimfo no mu bi e boga na krono but let me tell you something ene na wanya na wo fa o ene ana wanya ana ado sa left and right e boga na skamudi na kai hunu se de wo ye wo wiase bia no atamuo e wo ho a e twen nipa de obedua bia no eno ana abetwa na sometimes ye di boni a na ye refi se atamuo bi wo ho ye di boni a na ye refi se empani nyina mu no e bia yare bi bebo yen obia ni wo obekire bo wa asase so no matter who you are so ye sikani o ye ohia ni o obia ni wo obekire bo wa asase so nti abrabo ben ni ebo minim o religion a wo minim o doctrine a wo use e wo religion mu minim ugidie so gidi sanyame bi wo ho se wo gidi sanyame bi na boss ro ni asase epo ni niema e wo mu nyina na osedakro ye ni mfiapem so ye ne dakro se wo gi sa niema ni di na wo ye pani e wo every anas any institution bia mu udi institution ni sika hweye na generational curse nso wo ho no one nsa oh boy ada na ne ba hem eko hu na deja before on realizing on hem they are spread it e wo kro no mu nyina na ne ma mienu teye I can't check kronkron oso omo kọ no mo de omo achi e fa ntoma na omo de omo achi koi e de ko kata on papa e deja so no wa ni ba no so say me kwada me hu se me da deja na me sorry ntoma kata me ho wonim say wo kese hem no wan kese hem e wo hwa ma na enya nsunsuanso kese wo hem so ba hem asefo generational curse enti so wo de wo ene wo wa ban mu o institution bi mu wanya kwanya na wudi mu sika kai unu sese curse na ama wo so a wunkinima na de na ya se obi ese wodefo enso hwe na sefo na no mo sresra de no bia na o ye odefo no ene na sefo esre na omadi obi say de ntia taxpayers money I DCS your mind no na sika ne ba dipa ba akofo afesika no wadi na de wote wana ode ne nsa se ahye ne danwi fam a woye no ofisa dan na eba ba ko no ofisa dan na eba se de yankopon ka se dakro ye ni mfiapem so ye ne dakro no no wonim de yewom de monkoso a momo o mine emprontete na yemre gos nipa o ho kire bebrebe kura unya mesom etosini ene hwede aye Christianity enum na me wo mini mother religion a wo it's my menu see Christianity emfanye emfaso mo fa nche me se minim religion a wo na me you see ho e de aka asem me Christianity ana me wo mtim de ka asem ene woni sika nyamesom eja I bet you ene woni sika nyamesom eja titi nyamesom no ene nya enu bi na wo ho ene woni sika kra ye ma elder woni sika asori penny ye mfa maw asori secretary ye mfa maw treasurer ye mfa maw deacon ye mfa maw unni sika a sorry position ebeye den see ya de bema wo na wo kokra de ma kra no wo ska kra de ma na yese hwe dressing ti amanya mesoma ye ya eso Yesu Kristo ba wi ase no enye saa Bible na eda ho no enye saa na kire yen enti kai hu so ye politician na wo diska na obi di yawo utieti obi fa ho de so na ama ni nyamesom kra to sina Bible si sintiduan de beba o ba de nam ne so beba no ondue ana yanko yansam no so yeto aso ha ye Hana TV bidiani Dizzi Davis say dem tika ye no betimi follow me e wo Facebook e Dizzi Davis KD Instagram and TikTok @Dizzi Davis KD number no and the screen so no for messages no efa ho and one is a production line dan nyina meka say bibi koso won patam say ye papa say ye ne bone kwan so de twa wonfo yini na fa send yen ye ba ebe yinu kasafo yini so na mansan nyina ehu de koso won peso yaso timunye ne sa emma me ene ye be drink Ghana ho ye be bobo Ghana ho ene wo ahwe me from achichi ni benche wo ana me ni wo edi dwuma no enti me bia ho atrofo na tumuntem na onso afre na wate wonte ho emre no ekwa kakra ebi ebetimi awie ebi nso ayentimi anwie yentimi nwie yentimi anwie bia da ye ne carry forward e wo dwumadie eso timesere sagibre na me no mienu ye mobo Ghana esanse mpanifo se nyansan wo hoyi eni ba akofo tiri ye nyina ye mobo Ghana ho ne empensem a ekoso ne pomasi bre sanse dwumadie yi aman mu mpanifo enyina de ato Hana TV a o mo hwe tigibre na yimbobo ensem no mu Sofo Dr. Apia eso yasene okuma se kwada so bola kesiem enka ne baabi na ni GTV ni Odo TV ewo no currently Hana TV Hana Radio ewo no mosefo wani yare ni nyina ebra wani no efra etesi so wo she spectacle ansan watimi atre ansan watimi akenkan anampo sansan watimi anante afa bre na so ye obem waduro onom na pass through veins na wani na free bebie etesi so ebete spectacle no wonhye bie enye no nko a o se wo bema wa yemre wo mpam me kire ye sexual weakness say ye syphilis say ye gonorrhea say ye typhoid low blood pressure high blood pressure asthma hepatitis A B C D diabetes any chronic disease yare awako ayenkoda no fa bread and say obete ne te edi ama enye no nko a obi ana adwen mu ka no wo de ba obete ne te edi ama ma ma yare so en chese Sofo Dr. Apia oni anu aduro Sofo Dr. Apia e wo aduro ni nyina sanse nyankopon ahira no and then again say a spiritual problem sanse nyame akoa nyame ho sra ewo no so no wo de bad ye spiritual no obebo awura sunsun wiasim sanse nyankopon ama no eagle eye obesa wo yare fa the number no 0547664872 0547664872 da ne den you know wasem bi oka oso mfa yare no ema ma ne hwa fa yare na onfa na adru Lorette vagina wash enso eto nensa e de frɛ babunu oba se wawo awie na ekira de no nso aba no Lorette ene beboa o e pure herbal na de aye de hia so amia kakra e de egu cotton so no insect wo de ahye wase na wada overnight within 12 hours yi infections bi e wo wase nka de ma na 90 ma himfie ho nyina no Lorette e be di wasem e de ama from e was 0243 722 641 and 0208 761 673 and 0502 0761 80 dudu atu enko eye adwuso menhia and as Missy Heba eye Imbroom Ashtown said me kwei na so yasene eme de BBSC edebro yesre danda yeto yensa adwuma bi a wo ye bia yesekitu abi enso afabra fabeso yasene ne mu adeton de ru emma because of huge numbers we carry on our back in see about adeton de ru ma wa ekọ na mpempem ana epu ebehwe na yekọ adwumadi enso a this one says Ghana's economy is growing but 56.7% remains in poverty World Bank and ede ababe sudwa and then this one says poverty in an economic recovery Or say the cost of living in Accra is expensive, and it's coming from Amanda Akuokun Clinton or no in the same way about Betuja. Na lawyer Morris Ampao enso akasa enra ye nwie ehɔ no ɔsɛ opa blackmailers pie what country we any extortionists what country we ma what the din bi aba Betuja na yedimu nsɛm ɛbɛbrɛm sanso na Aska energy scandal OSP kisi eja aben mekyerɛ office of the special prosecutor yera kisi eja aben wa boy kwabna donko any 4 persons of interest in $1 million Aska bribery prop yedimu nsɛm ɛbɛbrɛm say yɛbobɔ so emre bi a etwam nene OSP na aba abonten aba bebubo din nti yedimu nsɛm ɛbɛbrɛm ni nyina yɛ asante beku case no nti we OSP anso I was say we've been actively and carefully investigating the Ghanaian dimension. We do not regard the fight against corruption as a competition between institutions. OSP kisi eja ben na sade nsem we atuja yebebo ede erem ewo ho. And then vetting of judges and then ministerial nominees. Minority insists on 14-day publication of Supreme Court. Alexander Afanyomakins akasa yede nsem ebebrem sansona vetting asina asresem esi ho. Or say if you need water to wash your hand, I have a bottle of water for you. Ehiafo to Afanyo Markins. Edimunsem ebebremu. Supreme Court Supreme Court nominees. Or say Afanyo Markins challenges rushed vetting into Edimunsem ebebremu. Or say vetting no akontem because Parliament more can seminar within 3 days. Must say cost was there be. And yes, Hana is a econo. Edimunsem ebebremu. And then presidential advisor on 24-hour economy, Augustus Gusitano, explains that 24-hour economy is not under 24-hour economy markets. Was the Ministry of local government and in charge of 24-hour economy. No crano district common fund and omu use at the 24 our economy market into 24-hour economy market it's not under 24-hour economy. It's why and I heard 24-hour economy market so edimu nsem ebebrem sansona and some way ebeda ho no NDC sympathizer kwabna bobia ansa and some a wabeka for 24-hour economy market no ho na ene insulta odi ama mpanimfuo binom especially omo that 24-hour economy market no ho no esawani ensa wo ka kire yebebo awram edi mu nsam abro sansam na so akopie wo KFM kwa menkromati kese ono nso akasa ato ho nwum nyina na ensam omo ka ni nyina it shows say 24-hour economy market ahodo a omu bubu no banks ahodo omu bubu no Manchester how do omububu no it doesn't make sense nyem na mekan e bo remu ho amubehu omo ekan ye. And then this one says NDC promised 24-hour economy but cannot deliver even 1 hour economy Jombuadu and then say we aba betuja see NDC for see 24-hour economy market 24-hour economy omo deba but even 1 hour kra mpo no omu enhu even 1 hour economy. And this one says, I am the youngest but most experienced among all 13 aspirants. Yet Nana B. Henry Nana Boache, national organizer for New Patriotic Party, and in some way about Betuja, Bremo. And then, and some people say, I carry everything that this party wants for 2028. I am going to be your universal first vice chairman, and it's coming from Dr. Sheikh Mustafa Abdul Hamid, and I did in some way and ran a video of the day. You nyoma papa ebeto ye na ye concern for so dear. Adanta Kumi has issued a firm warning to the NDC, stressing that under his watch there will be no room for ballot box snatching, intimidation, or attack on NPP supporters. And then William Amponsa Emmanuel Dallas, head of the Corporate Affairs Directorate as the National Identification Authority, has stressed that photocopying, scanning, or visually inspecting ocular verification a Ghana card for transaction is now illegal under the new LI 2523 National Identification Register Amendment Regulations 2026, and then also and is punishable by a fine or person sentence. Say Ghana card. Obini ho kwan se oje Ghana card kura mpa. Wa Ghana card no. Oje. Na wo Ghana card nanim. No ahwa wanim. Yes I offense. Obia ni ho kwan se oye ne Ghana card photocopy. Or say even though the Ghana card ekwa bank ekwa akoyi sika unless a tala no. I request it because of BB. Dia wo de kwa yenti. Na tala no kura ni kwan se waje a ohwe so sa ahwe wanim. Eba se yesi ye che no. Ti Ghana card ho nsensem ye de bebre mo. Wei ene nsem aka na ye de beso nyaman konkron Ghana e wo BBS dwumadi no so. Enti jebre na ye nyina ye mobile Ghana ho isan so oman ne ye oman no eye meman. Enti yenko going through the stories one after the other. Na ye koso dia Ghana's economy is growing, but 56.4% remain in poverty. I say we World Bank and the ababe to jaw. And yami na me de beto ho. And ye NPP na de beto ho. And ye NDC na de beto ho. And ye IMF na de beto ho. A World Bank and the abeto ho. Na yenko na yenti o mumra. Iwi ani abo ewrasem.
Recovery from 2022 crisis is real and measurable, but it also raises a harder question. Is it built to last? The choices made now will determine whether the gains of the past 2 years translate into durable transformation or prove fragile in the face of the next shock. The key results speak for themselves, and let me just highlight a few really notable accomplishments. Growth. The economy grew by 6% in 2025, the fastest pace since 2019 before the pandemic, and accelerated further to 6.4% in Q1 2026. Inflation. Headline inflation fell from 23.2% in February 2025 to 3.2% in March 2026. This is the lowest inflation rate since 1999 and currently stands at 4.6%, still below the Bank of Ghana's lower band target. The IMF program. Ghana successfully concluded its extended credit facility program, a hard-won marker of restored credibility. Fiscal. A primary surplus of 2.5% of GDP in 2025, which exceeded the 1.5% target, with continued momentum in the first half of 2026. Debt. Public debt declined from 70.3% of GDP in 2024 to 49% at the end of 2025, 3 years ahead of the expected IMF program timeline. And then the external position. International reserves have been rebuilt on the back of a strong trade surplus, driven by record gold export receipts. A welcome buffer, the one that underscores the economy's continued dependence on commodity exports. So the government deserves full credit for the difficult decisions that made these results possible. Yet the report is candid. Ghana is not out of the woods yet. The recovery remains structurally incomplete. The fiscal surplus was achieved largely through expenditure compression. Capital spending was 38% below budget, which is not a sustainable path to growth and development. The report offers a clear message. Sustained fiscal consolidation over the medium term will require strengthening revenue mobilization. Domestic revenue mobilization has been a challenge for Ghana for a very long time. Secondly, and measurable, but it also raises a harder question. Is it built to last? The choices made now will determine whether the gains of the past 2 years translate into durable transformation or prove fragile in the face of the next shock. The key results speak for themselves, and let me just highlight a few really notable accomplishments. Growth. The economy grew by 6% in 2025, the fastest pace since 2019 before the pandemic, and accelerated further to 6.4% in Q1 2026. Inflation. Headline inflation fell from 23.2% in February 2025 to 3.2% in March 2026. This is the lowest inflation rate since 1999 and currently stands at 4.6, still below the Bank of Ghana's lower band target. The IMF program. Ghana successfully concluded its extended credit facility program, a hard-won marker of restored credibility. Fiscal, a primary surplus of 2.5%.
Okay. And some no yasa akoshe ababiem no. Na chese inflation NDC amanyokuo no eba so no ana ombetena agwam eba single digits of inflation. Is the World Bank amanya aba be hu say still na 56.4% remains in poverty. See, and no 56 no. There we are more than half. And we are 50-50 there. We are more than half. And see a him and a poverty no a war. Is it because youth ninya adwuma Is it because ebinum awie school nurses awie school no mutifie teachers awie school no mutifie ne imposti omo kwa recruitment ye recruiti omo enehwe dodo omo nsa eba fie dan nyina meka 1300 ana omo nso omo HIV 6000 ana yesi nuboni ewo omo mojem sankofo ni nyina eba fie a ebe ye de omo tifie mpo dada ye recruitment no omo so omo kọ na hye oyo ne craze akosi wo ho aside omo nurses etitifie teachers etifie yen posti omo na the onko school nso unemployed youth no huge our Ghana ha. To me assure say 56.4% no sankofo ni nyina. And if say inflation at a single digit, we shouldn't have to be happy. Say inflation about single digit, and ka World Bank in some way but to okra and can say be a 30% still remains in poverty. But where they are bro half. A bro half. Aya munsusumi enfansem mi huahua ye ho. Enye bibia na politicizing no. Either you are NPP or NDC. Mummy enka no kure no. Enra me beka grassroots wansem. Se me mpesua so. NPP betena abai mu 8 solid years. Ye hu grassroots form wo ho. Oma adwuma anye. NDC abai mu 1 year and some months. Yenim grassroots form working my NDC a me mpesua so de na make ho. Achimwa we beja south. Ebu akwa ne mpata mu carrier se passe ene na sefo. Yenim NDC form wo ho up to date. Omunya adwuma nye kanipa na boa aye nkrutu dwuma ni nyina no. Pe baabi ma ne nche. Won se nyo bia ana betimi anya aban adwuma aye. Enyo bia na ebe pa no aye den abo na hye baabi. Nan we see edun ketia eba chimwe we beja south. And some of and say grassroots for no ni momusun. Obi anta michuku enya so oba ya aban ne ba ya no first card ya mam some fan koye adwuma. Na munya butre na omun solve Ghana for problems. Emma wo munwie. Enti yes na ekwa anima on behwe grassroots. Enkosi da ben na grassroots for no de omunya Ghana for ana. Omunya Ghana for. Enti da sem niema bi wo ho a aya yensusum politicizing no. Inflation about single digits. Obi ani age. Benewa Bank for research omo ye ya me hu say 56.4% Ghanaians are living in the poverty. Minim say wo a hwa me no ka ho. Me amete ya me de me ka ho. Me amete ya me ka ho. Na wo a hwa me minim so ka ho anasa wo nka ho. Mama yen ka no kre no. Na aka no kre yen fa se kan tu minim. Yen ka no kre no. Nyankopon kre nim se no kre na wo ka. Da chi bi no adu akatu ya pa wo soro. Yen ka no kre 56.4 are living in poverty. Enti say ana omo ho ato omo 30 say 39.6 kwa 4% na we chi ni be ka ho a say 40 na say yati 56 no ya dey 56 na ka ho na say 100%. It's 39.6 ana omo ho ato omo ana 46.4 are living in poverty. At 39 no kra no omo ho to omo yie papa ni. Eno so kra ye henfo e aban mu mpanimfo na na asa henfo. E ka musemi enka. Ye ka obi si hey. Ojina party we yachi. E ha de enya ne saa o. E bia na ne first time na wo hwe program we. E ha ye nye NPP NDC semu. E ha ne no kra fie no. Ha ene no kra fie no. Ha ene ye no kra fie. Sansem we akwa akodru eye Amanda Akuoko Clinton enchan. Was it poverty in an economic recovery? The cost of living in Accra is expensive. Eti asem na Amanda kan he no. Enya Accra nko an. Was it other areas no and other regions no. Nim say still na e bi cost wo ho. We all know that Accra they relieve by plan. Relieve by plan. Ewa Accra. Enu potom. But other regions na nyina relieve by plan. Cause youth na ni abre omunya adwuma nye. Ye kwani enti ye abra na Amanda so de nsem no e tu dwademra. Ye ye beto aso. Okay, say Amanda video ni nye ready a yentu aso. Said na me see kano. Amanda say we live by plan. Yenko to mame.
So blackmailers in this country, mention my name. A plus.
No.
Leader.
Number 2, poverty.
The thing where A plus is so powerful. No plus is no shame. And you don't know what do. Our blackmailing gang. Our drone. I would dig penetrate. But me A plus know me. Mbisano. Oh, so lawyer for example. I did also lawyer for example. The any kind. Me need to because jelly no. Munafi UTV. Me need to court them a court. Me manu tia 600 million. O sunse ba ma. A plus the drone the dibechi ya o ya shi film same. Or the drone dibechi takwa the boys catch them. A plus the penefuechi. Enti na otumo say out. Remember what developing the country by blackmailing you. Otumo say politicians. A plus. Do the information they have. The second blackmailer, all your powerful Kevin Taylor. The information was one. Third blackmailer, a first Zega. Then what about another blackmailer? The most dangerous blackmailer, the whole Ghana, the most dangerous blackmailer. All dangerous here, Black Rasta. Criminal-minded person, Black Rasta. Oba you say extortionist, because Obi extortionist, Black Rasta. And Uber A plus.
Arrested.
Arrested. A plus, Black Rasta. A first Azega. Over there say, wait. Over there say, Kevin Taylor. And I can mention their names. Very dangerous. That's almost rush you. Almost rush you because information more one penny for honor. A plus. More we are going to say me away this phone ya onim. Our drone or the demo team ya nti dem be obo mfie be disika. Omo no extortion is no. Ya can be obo extortion is na no market so. A plus. Jesus Christ. Guarantee guarantee yes. E wo Ghana ha omo ye guarantee the A plus those them. Black Rasta ni momo. Oh that's it. And when obi be blackmail you is because of the way you live your life. Me no allow me to nobody can blackmail your ampa. Do you know that A plus after me because jelly no not trying to blackmail me. You know okay investigations what tema court and me can I'm over treno. Okay tema court investigations or some are filing more than 20 cases. Because I made in the court the kama enim. Enti bra you should buy a Supreme Court mention me name say you ain't going investigating me because my case be almost supposed to tell many judge and kama and office tamakuru office said na tamakuru ya oh yes sampa hini Supreme Court say you investigating here so just say my case with the name of winning until the young shot the entire because case no ya call your investigations ni wie no na me ho so me Ghana get this in the room get this in the room no Ghana I'm speaking I'm telling you all the judges they got to know because they know when corruption you they know no I judge over accountable you that's me what do I say that's me they know judges about can't tell me they know I'm on sample so and you know now A plus I got your petition so competition say me there be a case a court the come home to say me not come out deal and that's a petition I don't show me she film back you nyame chairman to be became chairman to me in the sika I'm not going to say me bench amount to me it will be a chairman to be a damn but you nyame and this is for your investigation about you nyame me I don't work with the government me here government is 1 year 59 years of my life I'll be independent kakra menya me di I don't compete with anybody. It me who song. I don't even work with cities.
Okay. Mo fancha yan say yens me anya and sama ya Amanda Akuoko Clinton ekan. But we lawyer Morris Ampao and sama ode ababe tuja enono efa blackmailers and extortionists ehon. Enti wono no also independent. We are den obekasa. But lawyer, sometimes I am in senior maybe I say a beko school aqua gentity nimdie nyansa now because of amanyo 70 there are certain words there in your platform and you can see a basobeka there are certain things cry you don't have to voice out and come for enti ensema lawyer Morris Ampao dan nyina unya platform okan enti ufree say ni nyina na Ghana fo gitum ni nyina na ho nte ana oye pani o sa ye lawyer hwe na no ye checha ma untumi hwe nsema obekan time a chama untumi sha ase say o court ensema wo bekan enim sama wa beka fa judges so en sama wa beka fa ya Dr. Dominic Ayene attorney general aye ho ba ye shade ye wa wo ye lawyer wo sa ye adwuma o chama untumi ni TV station adentina abra lawyer and dia pia kubi eka se ontimi ndi chama untumi asem na chibiem o jaide to ho no chama untumi amefa wo lawyer Morris Ampo amwankodi asem no ebancho like lawyer Morris Ampo what's na see agents asem we ho what you say the reason this is the reason chama untumi amfa wa amwankodi na asem ama in the first place of a lawyer and dia pia kubi case ni kwa so awujai to ho adeni amefo awujai kwa fa lawyer Samuel Atachia. It tells you say one sem kan ye bi aba abonti unya platform a woka no lawyer nkasa sa lawyer nkasa sa lawyer ndia pia kubi on kasa say lawyer Samuel Atachia on kasa say there are so many lawyers from Ghana had on kasa say on your platform no kra on kasa sa hwesa aya lawyer Justin Frimpong Kodua ane lawyer Alexander Fanyo Markins omu nyina be kan say chama untumi is been a political prisoner obeka NPP for dodo na atu omanu gusu say ye nokre chama untumi is a political prisoner. Such lawyer and the appear could be echo one of our sister stations echo your interview so say the kind or the charges no media botchama to me when your dockets in redia or to be bien where say or a political prisoner and so here the general secretary Justin Frimpong Kodua obekan share Alexander Fanyo Markins or your lawyer share the honors bekan ne unya platform o kasa just like that ya say enchini wo yi enkanfo ne ho anka jai to no obi nka maybe dey me sitina see o you forget about asem ya because anytime be this will be account recently Reverend Isaac Osubempa men some obeka kire NPP fo no men ta kire ba ku sei en some obeka fra Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ho men ne nya adwen sei eno nkire se me betena men kama adwen kire no ba wudin be fa mu no ye nyina ye tensam a wo kan yo lawyer nkasa sa lawyer nkasa sa uyen nimum wonyam unim nyanse unim law no but mesre say emiem pushi wa ma anke kansem bi na se me babo video bi wa ha fun ase e bri MP kodwo pon kroma obe kansem bi se politics ye won kofo bi a ye pia omo ye di omo ye nkuru tundwuma ye be pusiwa mo akwa kansem bia ye bia na yi wasi nchan saade no ana it is alleged manu sisumina so mesra meka sabi omo se ebinu mo keka se omo pusi honorable kenako mprekwa Japan ona nani e den ye wa NPP mu bibia honorable ken nebeka ene hwede omode aye no hwede omode aye no a ne tai kwa pai sa platform ya wo so ya chama untumi fuo ya mani sa chama untumi nipa bia onye ba na ase edu ba bia obi ya meche yawo meni wa atwema de sefo mani nsamo but cha ayi gudon kwakuda road asebre yenhwe se kwan wo mo fa so di eye honorable Kennedy Japan atem be correct me kasi ya pai ni tinim na aduro ne san na okasa ani a ya pai ne tinim hwede omode ye no bia nso na nso tena TV so a ene radio so a wo kan etimi lawyer Morris Ampa de meka ne se wo de tena se na dwen ho se die ntina lawyer and the appear could be jai chama untumi asem no edi wa ma mefa wo okofa lawyer Samuel Atachia according to lawyer and the appear could be a dana ye sentence chama untumi before see a sentence no se chama untumi friend anopa se court of appeal no was na on die chire no nyema no ba me no nyina ba ya adwen se lawyer Samuel Atachia na still na okoso no yenya hu baabi ekwa akɔwie adanti na chama wuntumi amfro se kodi akire wo de tena se na dwen nyansa wo hoani ba akofo tirim dwen wo se chama wuntumi na okɔtena ne TV station na ye adwuma ma no adan na wo pelo ya am na kodi na asɛm ma no wa mefaw etimesre wo enimdefo wo BBD nya asem bia na yesa wo voice out nya asem bia na abegina simpie so no waka asem bi wo ho amene because ye politicians na binum enni animonyam no ebinum enni animonyam no ensem bia nsem kaya anka ne yie anya obiam na ntu omofo omunye opportunity betena baby kasa bia ene omu animonyam abo omu se de dwonso aba akokɔ no yankwa yanim yankwa asante be konsensem no so eye Aska energy scandal office of the special prosecutor Kisia Jaben odidin bi aba beto omu $1 million bribery prop no of course so Aska the energy sector e bae me di kan me abeka ho asema bo ho ayi ben sema e work to de on say ani enka ni pisa na eye Kisia Jaben OSP odin sambia aba betu dwa abobodin kwamna donko any other four yenko na yenti omo na Aska $1 million bribe no suze sanko fo we ni hwehwe mu a waye omo nsa kan sa sika ni bi yenkwa na yenti enimra iwia yebesato aso.
At the OSP, we do not regard the fight against corruption as a competition between institutions and as pitching one public agency against the other. At the OSP, we reckon that the anti-corruption drive is better served through cooperation and collaboration among public institutions. History teaches us that where investigative and intelligence agencies compete among themselves and fail to cooperate with each other, unhappy events ensue, as was the case with the infamous events of 11 September 2001 in the United States. We call on our sister investigative intelligence and prosecutorial institutions. Let us cooperate with each other. Let us collaborate. Let us share intelligence. Let us compare notes. Let us work together. It is one Republic of Ghana, just one. So let us make her great and strong.
Okay. Yanko your next video no eso na yentie abra no de omudin no tudwa no yewia yebeto aso.
That Chairman, today this committee takes a single further step towards the vetting of 3 nominees of appointment as Supreme Court. What is happening is unfair, it is improper, it lacks principle. All we want to say is that if you insist, because you are the majority, that we don't need any notice, the very things that you said when you were in opposition, they are no more relevant, and that under reset, you have set in place.
Francis walks in Kwesi Jata, at all times the technical advisor to the Minister of Power. 3. Solomon Ajete Sowa, at all times a deputy director at the Ministry of Power. Lyndon George Niso Metal, at all times a director at Tricop Group Limited. And Bafo Ankuma Brobe, at all times an employee at Tricop Group Limited. These are our main persons of interest for the time being. Other persons of interest include some present and former employees of Volta River Authority, Ghana Great Company Limited, Electricity Company of Ghana, Public Utilities and Regulatory Commission, and some staff of the entity formerly known as the Ministry of Power. Please bear in mind, and this point should be strongly emphasized, that the person of interest is not necessarily a suspect. The two categories, person of interest and suspect, are distinct investigative classifications and should not be treated as interchangeable. Then again, identification in either category does not constitute criminal culpability or conviction until guilt is proved beyond reasonable doubt to the satisfaction of a court of competent jurisdiction. So, we should be circumspect as to how we report this announcement and how we treat the named persons of interest. Still on this case, we have heard talk and from official sources that the OSP should not be the institution investigating the matter, and that the OSP lacks the capability and track record to investigate the matter. This begs the obvious. The institution, which provided significant assistance to the successful prosecution of Beko in the United States, rather lacks the capability and track record to investigate the Ghana dimension, and that other institutions, which were not even involved in the matter, are more competent than the OSP. Once again, which you are now in America. We did the case with the FBI, and you are saying we are not competent to handle the case. What kind of logic is that? Francis Walkson Kwesi Jata, at all times the technical advisor to the Minister of Power. 3. Solomon Ajete Sowa, at all times a deputy director.
OSP, Kisie Japin, and was setting the record straight. Dana Dana Meka, Mesha Sia Mekai. Sa Ganeska, Udia, na wumfa wundi. Ene na wudi aya wode o. Na echina aban sakawa ubesu. Ena ye hwecha ma wuntumi. Enya me fe, enya me de. Men kan fan wahwa me ho da. Dan na nyam kasa chama wuntumi o ye me wo fa bia. Na me bra pani a ka me pe. Koso yo defo. Anya. Menso yesi do ye hwehwema de no ompepa ne nsa ho kwa. Kaya kra be fa me ho. Enti enya me fe na enya me de. Se akoba ne sa. It's way politicians ni fanya suya de pa. Omo fanya suya de asante ba ku case. Se nya US for ada Roma. Enya US ada Roma. Na aya na say we as Ghanaians yenima ase. A country called Ghana egu yenima ase. Eti yenyina eti the OSP kind. Or say we've been actively and carefully investigating the Ghanaian dimension. Or say we do not regard the fight against corruption as competition between institutions. And Eddie Accounts Committee chen. Miracles Abuaje. Interministerial then. I know a secretary of decentralization. a brand accountant efa backdoor 8 years ka eko yoko answer questions 8 year no na miracle sabuaje so ete or TV so ka operation recover all loot ora is dead meanwhile cross and answer for backdoor eko answer questions ene and ye freezy wajapade no ye freezy wajapade enya ye fe enya me de semete American sa asem we but me ka se wo nipa bia wo institution bia mu you're very careful e wo sikasem ho timpanifo ka asem bi se wo wi ofo nsa na wa hwe wo de sanso ofo nsa no eti se nipa nsa ti se wo hwe a hwe wo de wan fa wo de anko hwe wonu ma anwe Mesre se MC Alpha number no eto so emame na ahwefo embonwram na omonso enkyere omadwen concerning nsema lawyer Morris Ampao abeka nsema World Bank edi ababe tudwa se was World Bank dey enkra dey emido was Ghana's economy is growing but no ehwo ne asem no 56.4% remains poverty. Eti no binum temiamia baby enye kra enye binum electricity ni ho schools under trees na say ye peki senior high school me be yi no I hope say mu hu omo dining hall toilet facilities bibia ye tan so the school is under poverty. The school is living in poverty. Timomi enshane so sa enye yen individual no nko a na we are living in poverty. Aban schools, government institutions to na is under poverty. Schools bi on kwana nsuo ni ho. Akwan ni nye. Aban adwumam on kwana even telephone I use or cry and yet. Also, let me about room. Now, watch your warding 0544466694 0544466694. Pull Rema. Now, what mute the volume of your TV set. Now, the cassette through the mobile phone. Now, Abua, Monshan and Sosa and Mammy. Now, fearful be my dear. Young nim. A vetting of judges and then ministerial nominees. Minority insists on 14-day publication of Supreme Court. Na Alexander Afanyamakins akasa na yenko na yentie no emramon famenko 6 Madaroma.
Justices. The minority would want to put on record a formal preliminary objection to the manner and timetable within which the vetting is proposed to be conducted. This is not an objection to the principle of vetting. It is an objection to the nominee, neither is it an objection to the nominees as individuals. It is an objection grounded in the Constitution, the 1992 Constitution, and the standing orders of Parliament, to a process that, as currently proposed, cannot lawfully and safely be completed within 3 days remaining in this recalled sitting. We ask that this objection be resolved before this committee to proceed further, and that it appear on the record of these proceedings, regardless of how it is resolved. We advance 9 grounds. Each stands independently. Together, they are in our respectful submission conclusive. 1, ground 1, that there is no vacancy and therefore no exigency capable of justifying a compressed timetable. Chairman, the Supreme Court of Ghana presently sits with its full complement of justices. No seat on the bench is vacant. The 3 persons before this committee are nominated to add to the existing membership of the court, not to fill any gap left by death, retirement, or removal. This matters because the entire justification offered for compressing the ordinary vetting timetable is urgency. Urgency requires an urgent state of affairs. Where no vacancy exists, no functional agency exists. The committee is respectfully urged to require the majority to identify precisely and on record what harm befalls the state, the judiciary, or any litigant if these 3 additional appointments are vetted with the same care that would ordinarily attend any Supreme Court nomination. We submit that no such harm can be shown because none exists. Ground 2, Order 21711 has been misapplied. But even so, Chairman, before I go into ground 2, we submit that since 1992, all Supreme Court nominees have gone through the regular period of notice where this committee advertises in the dailies for 2 weeks. It cannot be, and it must not be, that just Monday when Mr. Speaker announced the nomination as received from the President, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, Parliament is supposed to vet. It is not our position that we are against any of nominees. Neither are we saying that the President doesn't have the constitutional mandate to nominate for Supreme Court. What we are saying is that your party in opposition, and I refer to the verbatim reports of 2024 July. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman, the transcript of appointment committee proceedings 30th July 2024, and I use this transcript to support my ground 2. This is what was said by Honorable Mahama Ayariga, Member of Parliament for Boku Central, then in opposition. Quote, "We discussed this matter and said we don't want to embarrass these judges. It's a new appointment committee. Notice was served to the nominees to come without us having had a meeting. No meeting. Notice was served to the public to submit memos, and there was no meeting. Then yesterday we met, we said, quote, what is the rush? End quote. We have a lot of time. So let's take our time and not embarrass these judges. Let's do a decent job. We ask for documents. We ask for the writings and publications of one of the nominees. Then the other, who is the Court of Appeal judge, we ask for her judgment. You know how we always do it, so that we can study and do a decent job. And they wanted to even fix a date. Then the majority chief whip advised the 2 leaders to go and confer on the date. Chair, end quote. He goes further. We had these discussions nicely, and then we all dispersed yesterday, only to see during midnight WhatsApp exchanges that we were being someone as a committee to come and vet this book. Because of that, some didn't even go through their CVs.
Okay. Na chese vetting ho nsensem ana Honorable Alexander Afanyo Markins or the ababe tuja akoti time and NDC in so opposition. Also the aye ne ya say Parliament House mo dia tuja say vetting because within 3 days na ashase abra minority no engine to ewom say majority no na ye dom dodo no eno ne nkyere say vetting ashase mo be ye vetting na mo ma like mo kasabu ashe omo yem na saa na time na mo opposition no mo so mo ka say omo nyanto boase eni kwan say omo rush into anything na omo like mo analyze mo ne mawie ansa na vetting no omo proceed ɔse minority no ɛne ɔmo nte aseɛ ɛnte aseɛ kyina 17 no ɔmo proceed unless say ɔmo 14 day ansa na ɔmo publication of Supreme Court na ensam no ensi hɔ a yɛnhwɛ ensam foforo a ɛtoa so emra yewia yɛsa de mobɛkɔ ɛnoa Supreme Court ɛyɛ nominees no but yɛne kan yɛnhwɛ de esi ɛwɔ ase emra yewia na yɛsa to ensam foforo no so.
Chairman, what is happening is unfair, it is improper, it lacks principle. All we want to say is that if you insist, because you are the majority, that we don't need any notice, the very things that you said when you were in opposition, they are no more relevant, and that under reset, you have set in place a new rule, who should be the new president. We are sorry. We cannot be part of it. And to the nominees, with greater deference to you, we respect you and we are not opposed to your nomination, but the process by me through which the majority is deciding to use is not known to the parliamentary jurisprudence that we all know. So, Chair, thank you very much.
Most grateful. Today, if you need water to wash your hand, I have a bottle of water for you.
Hey, Ghana politicians. Obi any bresem. Afanyo mark is any abra or can asem no. I want to ahiafo. If you need water to wash your hands today, I have a bottle of water. Afanyo markings and some na yetintin yina say. Bra na NDC wa ban mu no. Niema bi a time no omo no omo no sorry, abra na omo NPP wa ban mu na NDC wa opposition. Niema bi omo try senka omo ye a NDC ampena ma omo anye. A omo de ose ye oyo eye NDC asade ma no no. Se na NDC aba ban mu. No omo so repeat same mistake. No omo so omo mpene. Ma omo nye na NDC e twia for omo so say resetting Ghana. It is omo de bibi foforo abent omo nyintuma or say no, it's not gonna work. Or say it's not gonna work. Owi anso wa wanso wa or say any kwan say omo rush into vetting no. They should have given them time because omo ye majority and omo ye minority manyokuo kitwa no said manyokuo kitwa no de omo beka omo ntie na de omo bi majority no eno na omo beko so aye dia then what is the essence sen ko omo tena ho omo nkoso they should proceed omo nkoso na omo nya de omo be yentie press conference na afanyo markings no ye wi anso betimi abo rem the number is on your screen 0544466694 but before then no yent call afanyo markings so emra ye wi a beto aso.
The majority now wants all 5 nominees vetted, reported on, and approved before the House rises. We say no, and we say it with the Constitution and our own standing orders in our hands. We say no because the people of Ghana must participate in the process. We say no because as minority, we are here to fight for the interests of the Ghanaian people. Our stance is not a partisan stand. It is a stand for the people of Ghana. Today, they are here claiming that just 3 days after announcement of nominees on the House floor, there must be vetting and approval. We do not accept. Proceeding to vet these nominees bring to the fore some dangers. We want to point them out. One danger is that a nominee may carry a permanent shadow over its legitimacy. Every ruling those 3 justices have ever made, every dispute that matters to this nation will be met by a question. Were you properly vetted? Were you installed in a hurry to suit one government convenience? That question will not go away. It will follow every judgment that they sign for the rest of their career. Again, the danger of a president that no future Ghana can undo. Let me point out that since 1992, all Supreme Court nominees have gone through the process of being properly vetted. Notice to the public have always met the minimum 2 weeks per our practice. This is the first time the NDC is using its supermajority to vet Supreme Court nominees in just 3 days after announcement.
Okay. Asamno na Alexander Afanya-Markins de atujano or say omo makwan no way. Omo makwan da. Say why are they rushing into vetting? 3 days per parliament. Edin Sam hello.
Hello.
The first caller, good evening.
Good evening. Person program Mr. Kra.
Me ba cho wo so pa we din ni ba bia free wadaroma.
You tell me that because something I talk about.
Oh, okay. Dauda airport runabout. Me ba cho che wadre.
But on my day on my neighbor. When you me ka we come here present for we come can go see you. Because I do one in town. I'm not wrong. Parliament almost sorry, almost starting, almost sorry parliament.
Okay.
So to be here, when you say it's for your money, because I'm probably in the top of your face. So I'm looking at your money, one time you will keep. So more, the way in Google Scrum, so when you don't go in your money. And what you're talking about, I'm not going to my and you said we shall parliament, no matter your money.
Okay.
When you used to be a job more in the
okay. All right, Medas pass down so afrena. Watch the word. You bet me aboyem. The number is on your screen 05444694. Sometimes, and I make us a name maybe we shouldn't politicize it. Asama a minority leader Alexander Afanya-Markins Eka say they are not fighting for themselves, they are not fighting for the party, but they are fighting for Ghanaians. Hey. And the NPP for na munim say mutime fight ma Ghana for pa NPP na munim say mutime fight ma Ghana for pa ana abra Ghana for to omano edigu na na do dan kwakufu ado so say onsesa finance minister ono ane wofa onsesa no and I'm NPP for NTA. It's way you are not saying this in the favor of Ghanaians, so in the favor of your party. Miminyan Dizzi ni, miminyan NPP ni, minye UP ni, minye CPP ni. Aba edru wa mi wode me tomano. Enyesa me nto aba. Wo ye timamu ni aba to wode ye. Wo so kwa na kwa kire wa adwen. We are Timamuni, a court, not quite say waging. About why I drink through. Yeah, drink through. Now, because there are some things that we shouldn't politicize it. And I can overreact away. Yancy Sanu. Mubu Niagu or Masum. And see a ne. A year Alexander Afanya-Markins, minority leader, Kase, Vertin home. And you are fighting for Ghanaians. Ana de na Ghana sika sem nyina oreso once me am fighting am Ghana for vetting who you are fighting for Ghanaians there be where they are for your own good for a political party for you being Alexander Afanya-Markins and I will fight am me sure say we are for Ghanaians yen drop vetting sensem no ne yen kwa yanim me say ha no ye chinasem ye taasem yen tan nipa we NDC new, we NPP new, asem ne pomesi bre, de Ghana for party na no ne yebeka. Ya mo bia metutu mfuturo nwu obi ani biem. Ya bre ne NDC NPP. We are tired and I'm praying that the nyina meka. Me say surely by hook or crook, third force will surely come. Third force will surely come. But be an generation way. Because we are tired of NDC and then NPP. Third force, baby, an generation way. Baby, an generation way. Yanko yanim, yanko 24-hour economy, eso. A presidential advisor. A Augustus Gushitando. What in Sambia Babe to Jananu yan and Bebo ni video. Ever 24-hour economy home. Our Becca say a month for SC woman, which they have no hands in what is happening. Gushitando, or say a month for SC woman. They have no hands. Ewa sema yesi woman yado makwa court. It's only a samna ama lawyers. So amonka. Because a man for accuse you say, ya bet demolish it or fee, and I near bubu bank, and I near bubu way. It's a kind of 4 crowns about 1 year, bisa say. Debut 24-hour economy no. A 24-hour demolition, and answer saying, Sana Ghana for kind of about thing. Say 24-hour economy no. A 24-hour demolition and cause 24-hour. And he names a demolition exercise. Cost to baby. Ghana for so months yasi. Emma Guchitano, Ababe Casa. Say yes, see woman. To Omodi in Samno, Omodi ama court. Sorry, Omodi ama lawyers. So Mundi asam ne momo. Omudi asam we krom bechi omo ho. Every ho. Nena ya kwada sorry ya. Presidential advisor Augustus Gushitando. And some of the abetu jane say 24-hour economy no. E hono de sa field no no omo. By a 24-hour economy market there. Omunim ho maachi. Ghana frontier no muntie ni yo. Ye ka 24-hour economy marketer. E 24-hour economy. Omo da no. A presidential advisor Augustus Gushitano. Also omunim ho maachi. Na 24-hour economy market no kra no. A Ministry of Local Government. Ne no district common fund kra no mo de ye. To muni ho maachi. Net is a see na yakosi omo of course. Omo ya demolish omo nsa omo adan anyway said the 24-hour economy market. Obi an ajapade na asase ye gi ho or de aban na court. So omo nim ho hwe. Enu nti na ano no obeka say ye de omo court omo nim ho hwe. Na say why na responsible, why na in charge of 24-hour economy market. Yankwane enti ye Gushitano emra.
24-hour market system, which has been promised to 262 district assemblies, financed by the District Assembly Common Fund, and implemented by the Ministry of Local Government and the district assemblies. Although they use the 24-hour logo, we have no jurisdictional control over the markets. We are not part of deciding where it goes, and so on and so forth. Eventually, if those markets are established and have the modern facilities that they will have, then of course, especially cold chain facilities and so on, it will contribute to the supply chain efficiency we want to achieve. Because if you have cold chain facilities, then your vegetables, your perishables and so on have somewhere to be stored so that we don't lose or add to the 30 to 40% post-harvest losses that we have within the supply chain. So it's a good thing, but for the moment we have no responsibility whatsoever.
Hey, asam no na Gushitando akano. Nanu mebekai. Was say people are suing us for what we are not responsible for. Gushitando nebekai yo. People are suing us for what we are not responsible for. Was it do 24-hour economy no logo no? Eno mu UC. But 24-hour economy market ne de omu nim ho maachi. Enti omu na omu si omu a mebebo video no wa ha. Omu Gushitano se omu de asam no akomo omu lawyers. Cause si na omu charges na omo de abo omo no omo nim ho maache ene na market ayesi NPP eba ya na omo to aso a omo nyan wie kura ne akobubu bank ne akobubu efia kase ne ebubu abra mi wanka markets ni bi wo ho ade make us NPP for AAC kura omo ansi anwie no umbesimi aye renovation ba ya bubu amanfo nsa ase na yeje na ebinumu usu na ebinumu buru hu nua eno na presidential advisor Augustus Gusitando ese amanfo see womo what they are not responsible for and now wa me hu say
the clean up no yeah the clean up no be free fee and the clean up no be free fee so let me start from NDC
for our market system which has been promised to 262 district assemblies, financed by the District Assembly Common Fund and implemented by the Ministry of Local Government and the district assemblies. Although they use the 24-hour logo, we have no jurisdictional control over the markets. We are not part of deciding where it goes and so on and so forth. Eventually, if those markets are established and have the modern facilities that they will have, then of course, especially cold chain facilities and so on, it will contribute to the supply chain efficiency we want to achieve. Because if you have cold chain facilities, then your vegetables, your perishables and so on have somewhere to be stored so that we don't lose or add to the 30 to 40% post-harvest losses that we have within the supply chain. So it's a good thing, but for the moment, we have no responsibility whatsoever.
Okay. Heat naba. Ye tuja ye fire. 24-hour economy. Hello.
Hello,
Nyankopa do me ho ye pa ahasa boga chifu ni pra so this way. Kron. Very good. Very good. Okay. Okay. Sure.
Now, the open the player policy to one, and then the half of the game. Policy to be a better player for this weekend. Policy. If you then any, let me cut the control for. I don't know you do that. That was all the kind of player we are there to be and set. The other kind of player, but if you will be a player, I've been out there, you put on the fire, you'll be that one, and you will be a time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's why never be here. You go to the father. It was a dream. Be a good. So that was a friend. You do go down the jacket. I just mean that if you are, all time I just want to be useful. But you can't just say that. That's what the other family does now. Baby, this was a lie.
Yeah.
I have to say, would it be a second job? You need to maybe have it. And I know that 1 year, you will do a market here, and let the driver. Not just to have to market in the ground. Market to come. No one is on my food. Let me look at them. If you have the I beg. Then I am saying, why don't we have that? It depends because now, on the quack better, make a little bit better, government, that is done. So, we are going to get them to see a man which is the other. You can't say, you can't say, not a little come.
Yeah.
And can you? Now the market the first this year, new market then. It is also market in India, not into a simple opening in a day. All that is done in a fish market. But everybody in the bed won't be on your road. Mama, never. No, I'm about what you're here. Oh, yeah. Well, your papa, yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's see that there. If they let them in for you, no more go down there. To be in your duty, the window fruity, Jama get the young woman, then I know say, if they not about to do, the window go drag out you. I was open to bring the full way in my room, and moving about the book about that. Just give me a new lap.
Mate pa hasa na wasise onso afre na wachire wadwen encha ne ye sorry onso betimi aboarem na wachire wadwen say presidential advisor ama ye hu say hello Mr. Sedu.
Mr. Dizzi.
Good evening.
I'm Papa Alasa. I can't take for you for so I never say the Mutumatumua.
Yeah.
Me Papa said the Solomon Alasa, and I'm also the Indian state Alasa. And the Alasa you for us, me Papa.
Okay.
Young people come on Yamuka, the produce engineers and the technicians and the Mitiamo.
Okay.
That we are eating in our bonnet topper.
Okay.
May start every. Maybe a parliament, not just vetting Amazon, ministerial for Amazon.
Oh, Equaso.
Nominino.
Equaso.
And also, the TN is, can make us a man that a minority no who complain today. Or my from my banzo, a Jumano was in this anger, must be a Cabano. If you would area, you bring information via.
Yeah.
I feel some example. Baby, the telegram is open. I get the reality the window will be out there. It's a year 2012. Number 6, lawyer with you, no be your papa. There was TV to at the scarcity, of course, a Supreme Court. A true cross examination was it. Not a ample betty. Your brother saying, a fear look at what's in the field in a cross examination matter, a good matter, what do we do? Emma would chance on Tamma, or who was our lawyer Penabia. Or was it the winner will be our seat? I could never know when you are someone at the beer, but some will be a year, no year. What I want them with their so I would chat to. I just said enough about example can. No, I tell you what's through. The voice of our would to me the anchor. What would you answer for my before I dear call?
Yeah.
I didn't mean to there. Isn't it a kind of walker? The way you want black. Someone walking cow was so distortionist now the idea. I want to sometimes a dinner way. Okay, say, what you know, I can say, media, multimedia. I'm market was one court and say I'm what the most said will be Katane. Yeah, Kitty is still the court. Come more than say I'm more yeti. But guess what we got to? I say, I thought a market now, Moses, you know. Market, you know, master. Men TV be at it. Because, okay, maybe the man who got the market in one hour was in the baby. Ever come to Papa. You did see me for TV. And no matter what market, you know, market I would say. Everything about when Mississippi, then most of the ever find the moment, but the age of the do what? Who caught a year? As I said, Chennai, home cross, baby, or Mr. Grana, Jimmy. Now, me possess a name, the move, number, can who can be one now, not a quack or Tadia. Who made the mention in terms of my camera? May I want to be problem?
Yeah.
Who's that with the done or carry the more a year, then one moment, oh, yeah. What to what and I'm going to own that now, you know. So we'll be down back up. And then another conversation. What do you mean, LCT?
Yeah.
Other young,
yeah.
So we are by that is to be my car. Yes, you know what? What was that we are, but you want. I say, oh, yeah, I say, oh, ball. the thing in I upon the top of the other number one. Football, your brother, the World Bank,
yeah.
What is from 99? You know, the Fiana, Papa. I was that car as a friend. Don't say, oh, when you're Jumano, and you're 50-something%.
56.4.
Mr. Dizzi, no crown I woke up I was saying, aha, very good. What you could have figured in now. But the baby, you're one of the question, but the other drama. What's the respect to that? The baby, I put up no don't go my Yakushimono. I bet I'm ready to remove. Ah, no, I buy back on the Abakuno. If you look to you could not no, you mean job go.
Yeah.
Not just a woman in your trunk. I was a fear, I bet you plaza. And tell me, you deserve a city prequano. I bet me, I hear preocupa. Immediate. I hear you being plaza, you know, or we have a crank, woman, and no multi-million. Let's get the a bay with the no, or Musha and Siago, and Randiano. I think to my head, yes, I'm idea. Maybe a better about or yard, but Santa, Obia, if we could or year or what do you put towards it? Yeah, never ask why I put a mother. But yeah, appear you so a mother teacher, electricity or mother teacher. And the video of Munaka, a corner minute to me, and Randian, and yet you may, and Yanagana, and yet there's a one. No more FP1, a beer chum. Was it Democrat, Ghana, Democrat, so I'm not attacking. I did not walk grassroots to a, you know. That is the door that they were Baku here. Maybe where in Germany, a friend, a German baby, the dear from 2 o'clock in the Ivan German. Where you put the papa? That's a good one, yeah. It's what is that? So much of the deal could be a young woman. And about the motor. I what is a cool going to me, Johnny, on the swamp, yes, I'm a cousin. Yeah, my check.
Mr. Cedric Yakubu Ishra, so a friend, what's Rewaji? 0544466694. Aka Simami and Satna Yapon. Hello. Hello. Is in my 1 minute.
Okay, and yeah, let's let them what you. And yeah, you bring your family, Abukari, free, Wally.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I the town, the town, and or one child, or one boy. Can you cry? I always see a woman. Okay. No more person, and 10 years. Yeah, a woman, you or mine. Baby, I'm not here for a yo. And she moved your mama and one by 2028 senior by ya. Ebra penny Dr. Mahmoud Bawunia. Vice President to be a Obagana or yes, you must actually president here. Or what did you want to? If you win, Mama and one pie. You'll find you need no function. Oh, you have a president to call him the chief one. I am the baby of how much you are more happy do. That's the best I say, young party. When then you're in a choosing it or doing all this, a quite a young party. Now, and what kind of them will get? I mean, and one year, ma, can afford. Now, say the ground, the million, I am a young say, a clear for. Or what kind of clear for your own year, papa. And Tinomo will be a one fire, that's 2028. Young fat, I hear you don't come, say a brat to give an instant. Okay. Right,
I'm saying that was a keep on watching Hana TV. Well, it's been far fretful beam and I'm real back crying. I made a Jumedian in our baby, which saying I may add Duma, dear young Reno, and after 24-hour economy, no matter.